Night Badger here. Sorry I've been away for a while. I have been kind of under the weather lately. Also, the um, holidays and everything have been here, and so came back and I decided I wanted to do something somewhat fun for this instead of my the fitness blogs. Not that those aren't fun. Um, But instead of having it where it's something where it's more serious, real life kind of stuff, I wanted to talk about something a little bit more popular culture. And I'll probably do a few of these. Probably talk a little bit about The Mandalorian. I know it's been over a week now since that the finale came out, so probably. So I do wish that I would have been able to do that a little sooner, but that was awesome. But actually, what I wanted to talk about today is I'm going to do a Mass Effect talk. I'd say the things that in pop culture that I know the most about and want to do some videos on are Lost, Star Trek, and Mass Effect. I do want to read the. I haven't read the most recent books from Mass Effect, but all the original trilogy books I've read, and I've read and of course I've played all the games, all of them, including. I remember there were a few iOS games that I played too that were that I enjoyed somewhat, but anyhow. So these are topics that I am fairly knowledgeable about on that, but today I'm actually not going to be talking so much about what has occurred, but what I think will occur in the next game based on what happened in the trailer that came out a couple weeks ago. And basically, what I would like to, and so I'm just going to talk about what I think it's going to be, my theories, what I think we will see, what I think we won't see, what I want to see, what I don't want to see. A few of those things. There probably will be some spoilers in this. I'm just going to say that right off the bat for other games in the series. So if you haven't played the other games, I'm guessing if you haven't, then you probably wouldn't be watching this video. But if you haven't, don't watch any further because there's a good chance I'm going to spoil some things, especially from the original trilogy. So, first off, I'm really excited for the remastered trilogy that's coming out. I'm definitely going to be getting it. I do kind of wish that it was coming out for PS5 and Xbox One X as well, or Xbox Series X. I keep saying One X. Xbox Series X as well, but it's coming out for PS4 and Xbox One, but you can play the PS4 games on Xbox or on like I said, I've been kind of under the weather, so I might say stupid stuff suddenly out of nowhere. PS4 games on PS5. So, and as I discovered when I was able to get a PS5, luckily, but if you haven't, keep trying. I would suggest trying stuff like where you can do pickups in the store from online, just because you don't have to fight quite as many people in those things. So like Target or Best Buy, they have things where you buy online. They don't have it like out in the store where you can just walk in and buy it, but you can order it online and do in-store pickup. That's the way to go. But aside from that, but how it worked with Assassin's Creed Valhalla for me was I started on PS4 and played it for almost a month, and then I got it on PS5, and I was really worried that I wasn't going to be able to, that I'd have to start all over again on the PS5 one. Transferred all the save data from the PS4 version to the PS5 version. So I think what that would mean for so the reason I'm mentioning that right now is that with Mass Effect, they can do Mass Effect 1, 2, and, they'll have the trilogy and they'll have Andromeda on PS4, which would mean that you can transfer all those saves to a PS5 game, the new game that'll come out on PS5 or Xbox Series X. So there wouldn't be any issue with transferring the saves, from what I can tell. Let me see, the next thing. So the trailer itself, after almost 6 minutes, I'm finally getting to this. So obviously we saw Liara in the trailer. That, I think, is really awesome, and it's going to be a way that they're going to be able to bridge the two trilogies. I am pretty sure they're going to make or the Andromeda and the original trilogy. It did show both galaxies, Andromeda and Milky Way, in there. They did show one of the destroyed mass relays in there. So I think that what we're going to see in this game, in this new game, is it's going to bridge the gap between the two. You're going to see, I think it will continue both games, or both. It's going to be a sequel to both, essentially. It's going to be Mass Effect 5, which is going to be a continuation of Andromeda, but it's also going to continue the original trilogy. They could do it in a few different ways. They could make it where Liara just goes into stasis shortly after 3 and makes the trek across between the galaxies. With that, technically it might not just be Liara. They could make it where it's any of the crew members that survived Mass Effect 3 could go across between the galaxies. That's not a confirmed thing. This is just a theory again, but that's one way that they could have done it. Or because Liara can survive, can live super long, and she is fairly young in the original trilogy for a Nasari, and she's going to live centuries and centuries after that. She could just, it could be some way that they connect the two galaxies. They could figure out a way they might make a mass relay in Andromeda and figure out a way to send people back and forth between the Milky Way and Andromeda. And Liara might be one of the people that come over to Andromeda. Another way that could potentially happen, going back to the first way with Liara crossing the galaxies, depending on the way that you finished the game, the original trilogy, it did show a Reaper in the background of the trailer. It is possible if you had if you picked the control ending or the synthesis ending, it is possible that Liara could have used a Reaper to get across, because you're not enemies at the end then with the Reapers, so you would be able to. I imagine they're shown rebuilding things or helping with rebuilding, so why wouldn't they be willing to ferry her across between galaxies in stasis? They have the technology, so and that's one of the possibilities with it. And the what's the other thing that I was going to say? But yeah, I think that, and I think with that, just real quick about the endings and the possible endings, by doing it where it's all going to be on PS4, they can transfer all the saves. People keep saying they have to pick an ending. They don't have to pick an ending. They can transfer the saves just like they did in the original trilogy. There's really no reason they would have to pick an ending. They could have a different, for the destroy option, they could have a different chip. Or have it where they somehow figure out the technology of the Reapers and are able to repurpose it for their own stuff. take a Reaper ship and fly it across the void. Lots of different things that they could do. And obviously they've built their own ships to cross the void, so they could do that. But yeah, but there's lots of different things that they could do. They definitely don't have to pick an ending. They didn't have to pick an ending for, for Mass Effect 2. They didn't have to pick an exact ending for, like which characters were going to survive in Mass Effect 1. They don't have to pick an ending. There's 3 basic endings that they have. They can easily make it, build the game around it, and make it so they could have all 3 of those any 3 of those transfer. Let me see. Finally, I'm gonna try to hurry up quick because I know I'm running out of space on my phone here. Let me see. Commander Shepard, will he be coming back? I don't think he will. And honestly, I hope he doesn't. Or, I keep saying he, sorry. Honestly, my last Mass Effect playthrough was female Shepard. I don't know why I keep saying he. Forgive me, I'm so sorry about that. It could be them. I'll just say them. They. Commander Shepard could be coming back. It's possible, but I think it would cheapen the legacy of Commander Shepard. And because of that, I don't want Commander Shepard to come back. Commander Shepard had their time in the original trilogy. They had the whole story arc, and they sacrificed themselves at the end of the trilogy. I think having them come back in a new game just honestly it just cheapens the whole thing. So I would just really hope that they don't do that. Yeah. So that's my thing on that. Let me see, Mass Effect. So that's my guess on that. As far as the N7 armor that they found, that Liara finds in the trailer, remember, Alec Ryder is an N7 operative, so it is possible that this could have been Environment 7 that she is on at that point. Like maybe it's later on where it's actually starting to become a little bit more hospitable, and so she's on there, and the Reaper in the background, like I said, could have been what she came on. And if that's the case, then you just have to think, hey, it could be Alec Ryder's armor. It's possible. Could be another N7 operative. I know in Mass Effect Andromeda, I did have my character use the N7 armor where she put that on. I know he or she, but in either case, they put it on. And it worked. There were a few story moments in there that I appreciated that they brought up. Why was I wearing the N7 armor? But that could be. So there's a few different reasons why there might be an N7 armor that would be outside of Commander Shepard. He's not the only N7. I think that it would be. I think I do want to mention that I really hope that EA and BioWare are on top of things this time around with the release of the new Mass Effect, both the trilogy remastered and with the sequel. The new game, they really need to make sure that they don't do it the way they did it the last time, where they didn't allow actual game reviewers to have early access to it before, like a few weeks beforehand, so they could play through the game, see how it works, and get their reviews out beforehand. Because they were nervous, we're going to get negative reviews about this game. When the funny thing is that when the actual reviewers, the like professional reviewers, found out or like got their hands on it and actually reviewed it, they gave it good reviews. Like they were actually really good reviews about it. And looking at it from the perspective of a professional reviewer, when you see those reviews and when you actually give it a chance because of those reviews, you'll see that it's not actually a bad game. You should definitely not go into it with the assumption that it's going to be better than the original trilogy. I didn't go into it with that assumption, and I loved it. I loved Mass Effect Andromeda. I do think it kind of depends on the system that you have, as far as if it's going to be super glitchy or not. Obviously, they've patched it since then. Really, not a lot of facial animation glitches from what I've seen. And I've seen so many games have those types of issues, like Assassin's Creed and all these other games have glitches. You look at Cyberpunk 2077, how many glitches they have. It's not like the glitches that Mass Effect Andromeda had weren't substantial enough to really be worthy of saying that it's a horrible game or something. That's just my opinion, but yeah. Let me see what else. I think wow, I need to stop saying yeah, and I think that was the thing that they just need to make sure that they because when they had I think 4 days beforehand, they allowed people to play through like a couple levels or something, and people who weren't professional reviewers looked at the game and they were like, oh, this is broken. It's a broken game. This is horrible. How can you release this crap? And it's just like, you are being so nitpicky about it. Was it the best Mass Effect game of all time? No. But it has a lot of potential. And, so I think that's one thing. The other thing is EA and BioWare. Understand that the single-player mode is the most important part of the game. Multiplayer is something that you tacked on in the third game. It's not bad. I like it. I've played it. But it's not something that the core players are really that concerned with. So if something goes wrong, if people don't like the game, understand that your DLC is an opportunity to make the game better. So if something goes wrong, if you get bad reviews on it, don't go out canceling all of the DLC just because, oh, well, we're giving up now and we're just going to focus on the multiplayer DLC. No, use the DLC to make the game better. Sometimes, I think it might be GameStop or GameSpot that has started doing a second or third reviews of games like after DLC have come out, because sometimes those make games better. And sometimes a game that is absolutely crap when it comes out with some DLC, and later on they're like, oh wow, okay, I see where they were going with this now, and this is actually a good game now. And so it can tremendously change the way that a game is seen. I remember Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yeah, Odyssey. I wasn't the biggest fan of it first, but when I started playing the 2 DLC, I think they really added some story points in there and some locations that really changed how good of a game it is. Mass Effect is a franchise built on DLC. DLC just expands the games so much from what they were. You look at Mass Effect 2 and 3, and I think you pretty much doubled the playing time of each of those games because of the DLC. So that's my little rant on it. I do think that there is a lot of value to Mass Effect Andromeda. I think people should play it, give it a chance, especially now with it being patched and getting ready for the new Mass Effect game. And yeah, I'll probably have some more videos like this later. Talk to you later. Bye.